Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For over 5 years, we've been diving deep into the world of stand-up comedy, sharing stories, insights, and laughs with some of the most talented comedians, club owners, and industry insiders around. Now we're taking you on a trip down memory lane with a special Best Of series. We've handpicked some of the most unforgettable moments, greatest laughs, and top insights from past episodes. So whether you're a longtime listener or just joining us, these episodes are packed with gems you won't want to miss. So sit back, relax, and get ready to relive the laughs. This is Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC, the Best Of edition.
This is another episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hey, and welcome to another show this week. We're doing another 3-act performance. This show will feature headliner Sam Guttman. This guy was a long-standing friend and comic out of the Bay Area. You're going to enjoy his set. Also out of San Francisco, very funny young man, Jerome, who worked the Laughs in the Park show for us. And to start things off, we have our first set from a local comic that had a lot of success doing comedy up and down the West Coast. You heard his story on one of the earlier podcasts, but here's another very funny set from Bentoni.
This first act that you're about to see is actually a regular here at Laughs Unlimited. Not only is he one of our normal MCs, he performs comedy all over the country. In fact, was seen at Day in the Park. I don't know if, did anybody go to the Comedy Day in the Park? About 5,000 people showed up, but none of them from Citrus Science, apparently. Anyway, he did great there, and he's very, very funny. Let's put our hands together for Bentoni, ladies and gentlemen. Bentoni!
How about a hand for Lynn, too, for doing such a fine job? Give her a hand. Big hand. Anyway, nice to be here. You find out right away. How many of you have seen me here before? Just clap if you've seen me here before. All right. You folks don't have to pay attention or take notes at all, but this is it is nice to be here, and I got a haircut for the occasion. Does it look okay? I heard somebody laughing and choking at you. It's a supercut, so I should let this be a lesson to the rest of you. I should have known better just to go to Supercuts, because their motto should be a tip-off right away. It's if you don't look good, big fucking deal. Isn't that it? You pay them $6, you go home looking just like Morton Downey Jr. Who give a shit. I saw a guy with a mohawk, though. Now here's an idiot. Well, think about it now. If you can't even up the sideburns after the first couple of attempts, just quit. Learn to live with it, I guess, was the lesson there. I guess the skinheads got a hold of him, too. But seems like now the skinheads seem like they're after all the talk show hosts. They got Geraldo Rivera, wasn't it, the first one a couple months ago? You guys remember this? They hit him in the face. What did you think of that? Is that all right? Yeah. Yeah, we all hate Geraldo, so it's all right if he gets his nose broken. But well, that seems to be the popular consensus. Evidently, there were some neo-Nazis in his audience that had just had enough of his shit, and they picked up a chair and clanged his melon, broke his face, and made a lot of news. But now, if you were Geraldo, would that make you feel bad, though? To know that even other assholes hate your guts? This is scraping the bottom of the barrel in my... They hate him. Yeah. They haven't touched Oprah Winfrey yet. No, Oprah Winfrey... Now, she lost a lot of weight, though. And I think that she's to be commended. I think that's... it takes a lot of... It's what? Oh, it's all right. Was too much for her? I think so. She's starting to gain it all back now, isn't she? Yeah. Well, she lost almost 70 pounds, which is no mean feat, very difficult to do. But I kind of think she was wasting her time the whole time anyway, because she could have lost 170 pounds, and people are still going to remember Oprah as that fat woman that lost all the weight, you see. So she gave it her valiant effort and put it back on now. Now, another guy, big guy in the news, this Walter Hudson guy. You remember this guy who was 1,200 pounds, got wedged into his home? Yeah. But now this was years ago that this happened, and he's still in the news now because he's lost a lot of weight. Now he's down to a very, very trim 800 pounds. Look. Like to see this kind of workout leotard, huh? 800. But now this guy, even at 1,200 pounds, this guy was not even close to the world's record. The world's record, according to Guinness, is 1,490 pounds. Well, sure, that would be most people's reaction is, ooh. But the funny thing about him is when he got into the record book, he overtook the existing record, which at that time was 1,069 pounds. So there's this 400-pound difference between... wouldn't you think that you'd read about this guy when he weighed 1,070? Even in the Enquirer or something, you'd think somebody walking around the streets of America over 1,000 pounds would have scientists following him, maybe, chiseling chunks of him off to find out why he's growing so big, or, offering him donuts and pizzas to get him into the book. But no. We didn't hear anything about this guy, even on the Geraldo show, until he weighed nearly 3/4 of a ton, and then pow, he's in the record book. And it made me wonder that maybe his weight was fluctuating too, like most people's. Yeah, what do you weigh, pal? 950, 1,500, right in there. I don't know. Just to put this into perspective, at 1,500 pounds, if this guy lost 400 pounds, he'd have to lose another 500 pounds just to get down to 600 fucking pounds. It's like... if you think of it that way, it's like the more he loses, the fatter he's getting, you see? 600 pounds, jeez. Anyway, that's big. So I gotta watch it when I mean. Speaking of food, I had a kind of a bad experience not too long ago. My friends took me to Benihana's for dinner. And if you've never been to Benihana's, it's a very nice restaurant. Great food, gourmet food and everything. And their gimmick is that they prepare the food right there at your place. Just the guy comes out with a knife and just starts whacking things to pieces. They're doing this knife throwing act. I'm sitting there for 10 minutes. I'd never been there before. I didn't know what to expect. 10 minutes he's flinging these shiny knives in front of my face, and then I notice his name tag says trainee. No. I just scoop my chair back a little bit, pal. This is but I'm no gourmet. I don't go out of places like that. When I think of gourmet food, you guys think of escargot? Yeah. Now, has anyone here ever eaten escargot? You have right in front. Did you enjoy it? You love it? Now, did you know it was snails before you? But you ordered it anyway. Okay. Now, see, to me personally, I can imagine a snail. This is like in the driveway or something, and I don't want to eat one. And also, I'd be afraid of what might happen if I want to put salt on my food when they bring it out. Wouldn't that be ugly? What's that? Well, I want to hear the joke. Maybe I can tell it tomorrow. I just think it'd be pretty scary to see your entree become soup right there on your plate there as you're waiting for dessert to show up. Too sick? Fuck you, that's funny. All right. I'm having a great day. I really am. The worst thing, though, now you're talking about bad food. And it's coming up now. It's summertime. State Fair is going to be coming around the corner soon. And they have possibly... You like the fair? Eat the food there? What's the worst thing there to eat? Yes, otherwise known as a corn dog. This has got to be it. Now, it doesn't take a genius to know that these things aren't going to taste good. If you've ever been to Cal Expo before, the first thing you notice when you walk in the gates is like 50,000 of these things littering the grounds with just one bite taken out of them. Now, this should tell you, but it could be 110 degrees outside. There's never one fly on any of these corn dogs, are there? They're over here on the grass instead, sucking on dog poop, and I just think if, these are experts, ladies and gentlemen. It's no wonder they put them on a stick. I mean, a 10-foot pole would be better, don't you think? Yeah. You all right? Yeah. All right, who wants to order the food now? Oh, God. I had a birthday not too long ago. Now, somebody here some people having birthdays here? Where are you? Over here? And way back there. Still no singing, sure. Now, let me find this out. By applause, let's hear from those of you who are at least 30 years old. Just clap if you're at least 30. I look around, I see a few of us lying, but now the rest of us, you guys, you think that's too old? Yeah. Don't worry, it's just the pussies in the back drinking Coke, so just, I think we can take them, but, no, I don't think that's old. The reason I'm asking is because my birthday was just about a month ago. I turned 33, and I still feel young anyway. I'm still holding my own. Which, of course, after 33 years, I'd like someone to hold it for me, but... I don't know if you people in the back can see from where you're sitting, but I'm holding my own right now as I'm talking to you. It's no pencil test, I'll tell you, but it's the most fun I've had all day, but trust me, I'll be done in just a second. That's what happens when you turn 30. Okay, but this is what made me feel old, though. I was at a party not too long ago, and I met a very young girl, and I didn't think we'd have anything in common, but it turns out, after talking to her for a while, she was a big fan of the Beatles. And I love the Beatles, yeah. But she said she liked the Beatles because she thought one of them looked exactly like Julian Lennon. So I had to explain that to her. She said she thought I was old because I could remember when John Lennon was still alive and still making records. I can remember when Paul McCartney was dead and still making records. Remember this? If you're over 30, maybe you do. The rest of you might have to go home and ask your parents. You do? Yeah. Making a lot of noise, but she's not saying much. I don't know what... Birthday. Oh, God. Well, now it's the 80s, is everyone practicing safe sex? I don't mean like right now at this moment. I'm just, asking in general. Is it just me, or are you guys pretty much tired of hearing from this group? Okay, enjoy your sex. We're glad you came. How about that? We're just really delighted that you... Now, here's another one. Now, have you guys heard the expression, say I love you with flowers? Anybody here? Have you? Well, I discuss this with a lot of friends, and it doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. I think most guys will agree with me that the flowers just don't say I love you, Sure, a blowjob says I love you. I think we all agree on that. Flowers just say, I need a blowjob. So I still buy them, I'm passing them out. Didn't our birthday girl get a flower? Isn't that what happened? Didn't you? A big flower back there? Sure. I was talking about my birthday. I had to get my driver's license renewed. Now this, I think we all agree, is pretty much the worst nightmare of a lifetime, because you get what, 5 or 6 chances in your entire life to get a decent picture of yourself in your wallet. You go down to the TMV and fuck it up every time, right? I mean, it's not like you're doing it all on your own. Because the guy behind the camera at the DMV certainly no photographer. He's just some state worker with a Polaroid. And his job, his entire purpose in life, is to tell you to put your toes on that green piece of tape and look up. So, right, now I know we can agree on this. You very carefully, you want to do a good job, you put your toes on that green piece of tape and you look up. Is this it? So for 5 more years, damn it, this is it. And see, this is why when the cops pull you over, you hand them the license and you say something ridiculous to them like, don't look at the picture, okay? Yeah, sure. Like the CHP gives a shit what you look like in your wallet. You just ran over 12 people in a crosswalk. This is not their prime concern. A friend I know cut out a picture out of a magazine of a real good-looking guy and pasted it on his driver's license. I guess the thinking there was that the cop would look at it and think he pulled over the wrong guy. Yeah, go ahead, yeah. Not you. A nice day. Sure, you can try that. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, man. Hey, who watched the All-Star game the other day? A couple of you did. Ronald Reagan was in the booth. Now, see, Ronald Reagan he called sports for radio, long ago. I think before there was radio, actually, if you think about it. But anyway, he used to do that, and so they invited him back, and he wasn't doing a great job. It was Vince Scully was doing most of the work, and our old president was just nodding there. But it was funny because Vince Scully says in the first inning, he says, well, there's the first RBI of the game. Ron says, run batted in. All right, okay. And then the funniest thing is at the end, Vince Scully says, thank you very much, Mr. President, for coming down here. We're glad you could take time out to come out here and be part of the broadcast, and it's been a pleasure having you here, and we're very grateful. And the President says, well, I'd like to thank you for having me here. It's been a long time. I was a little rusty, but boy, it's a lot different from radio. But just being up in the booth here has just been like a trip down memory lane, Ron. Memory. Man was president for 8 years. He just forgot the word for memory, I guess. That's it. Memory. Nostalgia lane, I think, is... It's what he said, isn't it? All right. Hey, you guys, sportsmen, you like the Kings? Well, basketball is a lot of fun. I like going to the games. It is fun going to the games, even if you hate the Kings. If you get a chance to listen to them on the radio, don't. Because basketball is like the worst sport they could broadcast on the radio. It's a nightmare. It's, 48 minutes, nothing but 10 pairs of size 15 sneakers pounding on a hardwood floor. It'll drive you nuts in a big hurry, right? How long can you stand to listen to this? The first time I heard this, I was in my car. I thought my front tire was going to pop loose, the fan belt was going out, something like that. So I'm driving a piece of shit for a car anyway, so I have to worry about that. Anybody else got bad cars? Yeah. Do you? How did I know? What kind of car is it? A Cadillac? Oh yeah, that's a piece of shit. Sure, who'd want to have one of those? Oh, that's crap. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. You must hate that. Oh. I got a 1962 Rambler American, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. It's got a nickname too. A lot of us have nicknames if you got a crappy car. Mine's Rambo. It's got 15 different colors of paint showing through it, so it has that camouflage look as it goes down the road. Front bumper is twisted down in the front, so, looks a little like Stallone. Every morning when I go to start it, too, it sounds exactly like Rambo. I turn the key and just... You guys do this if you have a crappy car? Even if you don't, you hear some new noise in the engine, you don't know what it is. Do you fix it by turning up the radio just a little bit louder and just... Speakers are a lot cheaper than a trip to the mechanic. See, that's the thing there. Anyway. Listen, I gotta get going, but I want to tell you my favorite joke of all time before I go. This is my favorite joke, even if you've heard it. Anyway, it takes place in a bar. Most of them do. And bartender and his friends sitting there, and they're working away. The gentleman walks up, starts making those bets with them. You know that you're going to lose. He says, "I'll bet you guys $10 that I can bite my right eye." Yeah, exactly. Now, it seems like easy 10, doesn't it? So they put their money up, of course. The guy reached up, pulled out his glass eye, bit it, put it back in there. Yeah, it's gross. Takes their money, though. So he's up $10. These guys feel like a couple of idiots for not thinking this through. But then he says, "I'll tell you what, I'll make you another bet. I'll bet you another $10 that I can also bite my left eye." Yeah. So then, he drove in a car. Obviously, he isn't blind, and, pretty good odds he doesn't have a double-jointed face, anything like that. You don't see that much anymore. So they put their money up. The guy reached up, pulled out his false teeth, chomped down really good hard on. Yeah, really dug in. Put them back in, and took their money and left. So, of course, these guys feel really stupid now, of course. About a half hour later, the guy comes back in, walks right up to him. He's all apologetic and everything, shaking his head. He says, "I feel bad for you guys because you had no idea that I had a glass eye and false teeth at the same time. So I'll tell you what I'll do. Make you one more bet. I'll bet you $100 that I can stand on top of the bar here. And as the bartender slides an empty beer mug from one end to the other, I'll bet you I can piss in it from the very moment it leaves his hand, all the way down the entire length of the bar till the moment it stops, without missing a single drop." Wouldn't it be worth $100 just to see somebody try that? Wouldn't it? So anyway, the guys, they put up their money, and the gentleman jumps up on top of the bar. Bartender gets a beer mug, slides it down there, and this guy starts pissing all over the bar, all over the bartender, into people's drinks. He's writing his name, just, having the time of his life, really having fun with this. Meantime, the mug stops at the end completely dry, and he's still going. He's crossing T's, dotting I's. He's really having a fun time with this. He finally gets done, and the mug's at the end completely dry. I wasn't even thinking about that. And in the meantime now, when he got finished, he gave it, of course, that shake at the end. You guys you're waiting for that, huh? Now, see, I have a theory about why guys do this anyway. I think it's because so far, no one's been able to figure out a way to make their weenie go... I don't know. Yeah, that would help. More of this. point of the story is he finished, paid the guys the $100. In the meantime, the bartender thought this was the funniest thing he'd ever seen in his life. I mean, he's got this bar rag, he's mopping the stuff up, mopping himself off, tears are coming down his face. I mean, he's just uncontrollable laughter. He finally gets a grip on himself. He says, buddy, I cannot believe you made a stupid bet like that. This mug is completely dry. You weren't even thinking about that. Why would you make a $100 bet like that? And the guy says, well, you see this guy at the end of the bar here? I bet him $1,000 that I could piss all over you and your bar. You'd laugh while you cleaned it out. Thank you very much. You guys have been a fun group. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And Tony, ladies and gentlemen.
That guy's always good for a laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that set from Bentoni. And if you get a chance, listen to the earlier podcast and catch up on his story. Right now, we have a special treat. During Laughs in the Park, which was a large free event that we produced in conjunction with the Sacramento Bee and the Chamber of Commerce here in Sacramento, we had a large open-air event at Williamland Park, one of the large parks in Sacramento. And here we have a presentation of comedy by a very funny comic, Jerome, who was a feature act out of the Bay Area, and he came up and helped us out and supported us and did this set at Laughs in the Park in 1990. Enjoy.
One other thing we want to mention, I don't know if you've been watching the news. There's been good news and bad news in the news lately. Let me tell you about it in case you haven't heard. Of course, the good news, the Ayatollah Khomeini is dead. Of course, the bad news, Cat Stevens is taking his place, so they never seem to get that right. We seem to be growing as a crowd. How you folks over there? Can you hear this stuff? Those people can't hear? Well, life's a bitch. I should point out something, and this is probably a good time to do it. This is the first of, we hope, many annual Laughs in the Parks. Are you having a good time? For those of you that do have a good time, feel free to let the Sacramento Bee or the City of Sacramento or Laughs Unlimited know that you did so that we can repeat this event in the future. We would like you to know that we did not expect, although we're very happy to have so many people out here this afternoon. And because of that, we want to let you know that we will learn from this, and in future events we will have a more adept sound system and more space for everybody. So bear with us. It's our first event, and we hope you're having a good time. More porta potties. Thank you for the suggestion. Valet parking. Okay. Somebody from Los Angeles. There you go. We're going to bring up our next entertainer. Ready for more comedy? Coming to the stage, a gentleman who's appearing at the Birdcage Laughs Unlimited this very week. He is from San Francisco. You can hear him. He has his own song on Quad 106, and you can see him in the movie True Believers. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Jerome, right here. Jerome.
So, how's life? That's good. Good to be back in civilization, I must say. I finished a week in Sulphur, Louisiana, ladies and gentlemen. That was all right. They give you that look afterwards like, yeah, you were funny, but we still gonna have to do something to you, boy. Wonder if he can tell some joke while he's bleeding. You know, everywhere I go, all over the country, people have these car phones now, these newfangled car phones. Kid you not, I was coming down the highway, I saw a guy with a car phone in a 73 Pinto. What's he gonna do, call up the fire department? Hey man, pick me up, my trunk is in flames again, man. I joined this gym too. I go to the gym, I go to work out, try to get in shape. It's all right to work out and get kind of toned, but you see the guys that overdo it? I mean, the really big, built dudes with muscles in their breath and their hair in the whole bit. Type they walk around like they're smelling rotten fish or something. Type when they were born, they came out, snapped their own umbilical cord. Slapped the doctor on the butt. And every time you talk to these people, they have to go through a posing routine to show off all their muscles, right? Because after a workout, I walked up to one of them. I said, excuse me, man, do you have change for a $10 bill? He's like, let me check my wallet. I guess I don't. Ask that guy over there. I needed directions too, but I said, the heck with it. Got this VCR, rent out a bunch of monster movies. I'm a big horror movie fan. But horror movies not like they used to be. Because remember in the old days, you knew when the monster was coming because the music would kick in real loud. Dun, 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 dun. Nowadays, you watch Friday the 13th, there's a couple in the woods, 2 o'clock in the morning, and all they hear is this. The guy's like, hey, honey, you got a cold or something? What's that? These movies are weird, too, because in the old days, the ladies would always fall down and hurt their ankles. You know what's that? They run from the monster and fall down. Oh, help. My ankle, my ankle. Nowadays, women jump tombstones like Flojo. You better get up, lady. Monster coming. And you can't get away from these monsters either nowadays. They got what? Friday the 13th got about 600 different movies now. A movie every month. This is the Friday the 13th I'd like to see. Friday the 13th, part 666. Jason's a boarder at Dorothea Puente's rest home. She keeps burying him, but he keeps getting back up. Where's that old bag and that red raincoat? You know, the old monsters you can get away from. Like the mummy or something, he was all slow. He'd come after you dragging his leg. You had time to wake up the whole neighborhood. Hey, George, come on down. The mummy's coming, man. No, go ahead and eat. Pack your clothes. We got time. He's down the block. Or Dracula, you can fight Dracula. You bring the cross up. You have some instant defense. But every time somebody had to fight Dracula, they have what? One little 2-inch cross. Then they lose the thing and have to fight him in hand-to-hand combat. Like if I had to fight Dracula, I'd go to his castle with a full cross 3-piece leisure suit. Have a Jesus wig on, singing spirituals and throwing Molotov Bibles out of the Pope mobile. They have the Mormon Tabernacle Choir behind me. There's some Amy Grant and Shirley Caesar albums under my arm. Throwing them like frisbees. See, that's just assuming that Dracula is sensitive to Christianity, though, right? But what if you're from another religion? What's a Hindu guy got to drag a sacred cow up to the castle? And put a Big Mac in his face? Get back up, hamburger! Hamburger! And a sesame seed bun. And if you're a Jehovah's Witness, Drac don't even answer the door. Dracula's hiding. Get away from me now, I'm anorexic. Man. Them Jehovah's Witnesses will message you on Saturday morning when they come by my house 6 o'clock. Jehovah's Witnesses, were you up? Yeah, and fully loaded. Now I think if you can't beat him, join him. I let him in the house now. I let him right in the house. Jehovah's Witnesses? Oh, I was waiting for you guys. Come on in the living room. Yeah, come on in here. And take a look at these Amway products I got here, too. Hey, where you going? You left your watchtower, man. I don't know what's going on. I think the country seems to be getting dumber and dumber, too. Because every time we get a bill in the mail, what does it say in the return address envelope in the right-hand corner? Place, stamp, here. When was the last time you picked up an envelope and said, where the hell do I put the stamp at, huh? Guess the phone booth's gonna be late another month. No instructions on this envelope here. watch MTV a lot. I got cable now, see my favorite stars. But some of these people are weird, like Madonna. You know she's got some soulful influence because she's got like an afro under each armpit. Like she's got buckwheat in the headlock or something. Let me go, Madonna, let me go. Terry, let me go. No. Ain't no birthday.
I hope you enjoyed that set from Jerome. Very funny feature comic out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And right now, our closing act for this particular podcast is a very funny headliner. He was one of the family members of the Laughs Unlimited family in the sense that he was up many, many times. He's been out on my boat. He joined us for a trip to the State Fair at Cal Expo, was there at bowling night. Very funny and friendly headliner out of the Bay Area. Let's listen to some of his comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Guttman.
I'd like to do a little song for you now. This is a song that I wrote. You might recognize the melody, although it is my melody. Someone stole it years ago, and it's based on a show I did in East Oakland. I don't know if you're familiar with Oakland. It's a rough town, and my song, but you will recognize the melody, goes like this. Hey, hey, hey. It's mine. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to East Oakland again because a vision softly creeping took my wallet while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain, this is fucking insane, within the sounds of sirens. On the streets I walk alone, wondering if I'll make it home. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you. You think about all the styles of music there are, and other countries are always imitating each other. What's the surefire 100% American music that no one's been able to really imitate? It is American. It started back in the 30s, 40s, 20s. It is the blues. Am I right? Let me hear it. It's the blues. It's the blues. See, that's right. You said it first. It's the blues. Now, I can imagine, what would it be like if all of a sudden, like, India started singing the blues? I guess it goes something like this. I got that Bhagwan Ramarajnish. Boogie woogie blue. Buddha 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 baby. All the people wearing diapers. They're running around with no shoes. And my elephant he is starving too. Tell me Bhagwan Ramarajnish baby, what should I do? Thank you. I'd like to do one more little number for you, based on my childhood. Isn't it true that everything we ate as a kid apparently is killing us today? That's what they told us. I mean, there was sugar and it causes you problems. So I attribute this to my childhood, and it's a serious song. It goes. I was raised on Cocoa Puffs, sugar frosted flakes, 'cause Tony said they're great. So I ate and I ate, now I shake and I shake. Mom always said that Chef Boyardee was a personal friend of the family. So we ate and we ate, now we shake and we shake. Hey, Mikey, you're only two. You eat anything that your two twin brothers want you to. You ate and you ate, now you shake and you shake. Live cereal. Live cereal. Live cereal. Live cereal. Mikey, what happened to you?
That was Sam Guttman, one of our very popular headliners that worked the club from the late 80s all the way through the 90s. In fact, a quick side story, when we sold the club in 2001, Sam, being a good family friend, had come over to a pool party at my house. And this was just a couple weeks after we sold the club to a guy named Steve. Won't give him any more fame. And Sam was in the backyard with us, enjoying a beverage in the pool, in the barbecue, and we were sitting around talking, and all of a sudden, Sam started kind of bad-mouthing Steve, the new owner of the club, and saying that it was not the same, that it was being run poorly, and was kind of loudly complaining. And just then, my wife, Jill, pointed out that, Steve lives next door. And Sam went, "Oh, shit," and ran out the door and left. He didn't want to be seen commiserating with us after the sale of the club because it might affect his future shows. So that was quite interesting. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed his set. He's a great guy, and we're very appreciative of all the comedy he did with us and his friendship over the years. Well, we hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. We're going to try to keep the comedy coming. So please listen, share, and if you get a chance, subscribe. Also, if you get a chance, check out my website, standupyourhostandmc.com, because we've got some great historical pictures under Comedy Treasures that I think you'll enjoy. And we also have a few items for sale if you'd like to get a little piece of comedy history. Thanks again for listening to our podcast. Stay tuned, because next Sunday there'll be another new one. Have a great day. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, Your Host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.